What's up, fish tank people? Dustin's Fish Tanks bringing it to you on a Sunday, baby. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. In today's video, we're talking about bad water. We're talking about bad water coming out of your well. We're talking about bad water coming out of your tap. We're talking about soft water. We're talking about hard water. And I've got some pro tips on how to deal with all of it. All right, so first things first, man, worst things first. I want to talk about the absolute worst type of water when it comes to the Planet Aquarium, and that is soft water. I get hit up all the time by people, hey, I need a can't kill it combo or something. I kill all the plants that I bring in. You don't kill the plants, your water kills the plants. This generally happens with people that are not on tap water, although there are some places around the country that have soft water. Soft water is horrible, all right? Can't stand it, hate it, don't like it. I got nothing to do with it when it comes to keeping plants, because plants like to absorb some of their nutrients out of the water column. Soft water, low calcium levels, low magnesium levels, low mineral content in general in the soft water. Plants hate it, they starve, they wither away and die. The rub with it, with well water is either coming out of the well soft or it's put through a water softener, okay? So all of the stuff that comes out of the faucet of your well is actually super soft and is absolutely doing your plants no good. What do you do if you have soft water? I will tell you, we don't have soft water around here. We got beautiful bluegrass, limestone water, but you add crushed coral. You want to add crushed coral. I like to add 1 pound per 20 gallons of water. That'll improve the buffering capacity of your water. That'll make your soft water harder. There is one caveat with soft water, obviously discus, which you know I'm not keeping. And Tonina bellum actually really likes soft water, but it also likes a ridiculous amount of light and CO2. Other than that, soft water, no bueno. Let's talk about another thing with a problem coming out of your tap. So I give this warning every springtime because the municipalities want to flush the lines. Let's flush the lines, let's clean it out. And what do? They spike the chlorine, chloramine levels in your water. You take a shower, the water coming out of it smells like bleach. Guess what? That is chlorine. That is going to kill your fish. And in high concentrations, it can really hurt your plants. But this has happened to multiple people, and people drop comments on it all the time about how they don't know when the chlorine levels are being spiked, they don't get the notice or whatever, and they're using their normal amount of dechlor, and they have bad water coming out of their tap. The tap water has too high of concentrations of chlorine, kills their fish. They don't even know they're doing it because they're using their normal dosage. Bad water out of tap is no bueno. I want to talk about hard water now. Hey Dustin, I'm worried about what kind of plants I can get because I have hard water. Guess what? Hard water is amazing, okay? You want hard water. I'm going to say amazing as in like 7 to 8 pH. Why? High mineral content. Okay, I'm in the bluegrass. We have limestone water comes out. That's why the horses are fast, because they eat the grass that's got the high calcium content in it. You should love, you should cherish, you should welcome your hard water, okay? If it's too high, you really only want to mess with Anubias, Java fern, Bulbitis, those Africa type plants. But plants in general like high calcium content, like high magnesium content, hard metals, heavy metals, all that stuff. Plants adore it. In fact, you want to get real crazy with it. People that use RO systems, I recommend you can actually use the wastewater out of your RO unit, because your RO unit is stripping all of that stuff that plants actually eat out with the RO. Use that RO filtered wastewater in your Planet Aquarium and watch them go nuts. Now those were both external parts of bad water. I want to talk about something internally with your aquarium involving bad water, and it's more of just like a philosophy of bad water, and it goes like this. It's the domino effect, okay? And the domino effect is when something goes wrong in a small contained body of water. A fish dies, plants melt, something happens and you get like a water parameter change. If that's not quickly rectified, if you don't get the dead fish out, or you don't get the dying bacteria out, or your power goes out and your filter stops and all the bacteria dies and then it kicks back on and dumps all the ammonia in your tank. If that happens, the domino effect is going to happen quickly in your aquarium, because you're going to have something bad and then something else is going to die and then something else is going to die, and it's just going to go doom, and everything is going to have a lot of problems. So you need to be cognizant of that because you're in a small body of water. This is also why I recommend people that start out in these 5-gallon, 10-gallon tanks. That's too small of a tank to start out, and you don't have enough room to screw up when you don't know what you're doing. So I recommend like 20, 30, 40, 50-gallon tanks. More room for error, more room and less impact if you have something go wrong. So the domino effect is something, and I want to touch on the domino effect and how we roll here on a larger scale, and we have the domino effect. You can see we have the shade cloths up here, and then we have basins that we move I don't know, anywhere between 500 and 1,000 plants out of in a week. And when that happens, we have the domino effect in a different way because we're removing all of the plant load, but then we still have a ridiculous amount of sunlight. So the ridiculous amount of sunlight causes algae. So we get to this balancing point where there's not enough plants in the basin for it to sustain plants without algae on them, so we have to rip them out, which is why you see this empty one here, which is why you see them working on that one over there, because they get to a point where there's not enough plants to absorb all the light, and there is waste, and there is like decaying plant matter and the stuff that falls off leaves because we grow everything underwater and all that good stuff. And then that starts to cause a domino effect, and the algae gets exponentially worse. Full disclosure, your boy truly did not put the shade cloths up early enough. They're actually working on a basin. That's my fault. I'm taking a responsibility for my actions and having people help me clean it up. I didn't put the shade cloth on that bad boy over there early enough in the season. Full direct sunlight, plant loads fluctuated. Oh, by the way, we have a bunch of ridiculous fish in there, and that caused a ridiculous algae boom. Now we got shade cloths all over. The solstice for all my sun-loving pagans was just a couple of days ago. Shade cloths are up. Days are slowly gonna be getting shorter. We have the domino effect around here causing bad water internally. It's also why we strip them all out before we get new plants in. And last but certainly not least, and we've all done it, I've done it, you've done it, we've done it, it's the bad water you get from overfeeding your fish. I eat 3 meals a day, my fish need to eat 3 meals a day. No! You don't need to feed your fish every day even. You can go a couple of days without feeding them, they'll be fine, they might pick around the plants. Overfeeding your fish! People feed too much stuff into their tank and the fish don't eat it all, or they do eat it all and they poop, and you get bad water, which causes all kinds of problems, algae, dead fish, ammonia spikes, you name it. So that's what I got going on with y'all and bad water. Y'all wanna see some of the greenhouse? Check this out. And I wanna show this. This is why everyone should own a Golden Dojo Loach. They just kick it right up here in the shade. See that dude? He's just straight up chilling in the water lettuce, like stuck in it, not even, he's fine, he's just a giant hoss of a fish rolling around in there, doesn't even care. Oh, there he goes. There goes the Oscar. Look at this dude. Look at this bad boy right here. And I want to show some of the crop we're growing here. Super jacked about this. This is the Anubias that we had potted. I got it on a calendar, but I gotta show, I need to sticker these to say when the date these were potted, but these are, I think like only a week in, but I'm seeing little chunks of new growth on them, so I'm super jacked about the way that's coming along there and there. And here's what we have going on in the greenhouse. Dustin is very busy. So in order to avoid the problems we had with the light too much or whatever, we got the 50% shade cloths up here. That's a 12 by 24, 12 by 24, 12 by 24 needs to be redone. My crew, Crops Electric, is up in here. They wired everything in this bad boy. And we've got the basins rolling. So we've got the sage over here that was just planted. I'm super jacked because we're planting our own plants in-house. That's got a good long time before it's gonna be sexy. I'm actually, one of my tasks today is to date everything so I know when they're planted. We're doubling the volume of sage in a month's time. So I'm super jacked about that. So you put that exponentially. Now grant you, I just went into the highest grow season, right? Like we just had the longest day of the year, everything's getting shorter, but the amount of sage that we plant has doubled in 30 days. So we're trying to do a lot of that because it's one of our great sellers. We've also got some plants like this. Alteranthera over here, which you will not be able to hardly see, but that's one of our best sellers that's been isolated, and we're just kind of like running it here. What's fun about this from a plant keeping perspective is sometimes we'll have a plant that'll come in and we'll have a problem, but we'll have it with another plant. So with this, we'll be able to isolate species a little better. So we'll be able to isolate species. So if we have like some Anubias rot or something melts or some plant just goes, like I talked about with the domino effect, let's say we bring in like a water wisteria and then it sheds a bunch of leaves. Well, it's in with Anubias. Well, it's in with a bunch of Anubias and it sheds a bunch of leaves and the Anubias goes bad. Well, did the Anubias go bad or did the water wisteria we have in it go bad? So this is what we got going on. I'm gonna let these dudes work. They're doing a great job. Vents rolling, that's rolling. So yeah, having a lot of fun. If you like what I'm doing, hit that subscribe button. Make it an awesome week and tank on.